Everyone expected me to stay the same, to want the same things, to play the same role, to keep being the person they were comfortable with, and for 49 years, I did. I was reliable, predictable, easy to depend on. Then one day, I didn't do anything dramatic. I just said no, and that was enough to change everything. Suddenly, people were uncomfortable. "You've changed. That's not like you. What's going on with you?" They didn't ask because they were worried. They asked because my change disrupted what they expected from me. This is the story of what happened when I stopped living for everyone else's comfort and chose to live honestly instead. Welcome to Good Stories Today, your channel for emotional and inspiring stories. Listen while you drive, work, or simply seek inspiration. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next videos. Chapter 1. The Role That Was Already Written. Long before I made any conscious decision about who I wanted to be, my role had already been decided. I grew up in a household where keeping the peace was everything. My parents weren't bad people, but they fought a lot, not violently, just constantly, about money, about decisions, about nothing and everything. And I learned early, if I was good, if I was easy, if I didn't add to the chaos, things were calmer. So I became the easy one, the kid who didn't complain, the teenager who didn't rebel, the young man who made sensible choices. My older brother, Sean, was the wild one, always in trouble, always pushing boundaries, and I became the opposite, the one they didn't have to worry about. "Marcus is so responsible," my mother would say. "I never have to worry about him." And I wore that like armor. That pattern followed me into adulthood. In my 20s, I got a job at an accounting firm, entry level, nothing glamorous, but I was good at it, reliable, consistent. My boss noticed, "Marcus, I can always count on you. You're the backbone of this team." And I felt proud, because being needed felt like being valued. In my personal life, I was the same, the friend who always showed up, the son who called every Sunday without fail, the brother who mediated family drama, the uncle who never missed a birthday. I thought I was being a good person, and I was. But I was also disappearing, because I wasn't making choices based on what I wanted. I was making choices based on what everyone expected. And over time, I forgot there was a difference. By the time I turned 45, my life looked successful from the outside. Good job, close family, solid friendships. But inside, I felt hollow, like I was going through the motions of a life that didn't quite feel like mine. I'd wake up in the morning and think, is this it? Is this all there is? And then I'd push the thought away, because questioning it felt ungrateful. And I'd spent my whole life being grateful for what I had. They didn't expect me to be happy. They expected me to be consistent, and I'd given them that for decades. Chapter 2. The First Small Deviation. The change didn't start with a revelation. It started with exhaustion. I was at my desk one Friday afternoon, staring at a spreadsheet, when my coworker Lisa came over. "Hey, Marcus, can you cover the Henderson account for me next week? I have a family thing." Normally, I would have said yes immediately, but this time, something stopped me. Not anger, not resentment, just tiredness. I was already covering 2 other accounts, already working late 3 nights a week, already stretched thin, and I thought, why am I always the one who says yes? "Actually, I can't," I said. "I've got too much on my plate." Lisa blinked. "Oh, okay, no problem." She walked away, and I sat there, heart pounding, like I'd just done something wrong. That night, I couldn't stop thinking about it. It was such a small thing, saying no to one request, but it felt significant, because I'd spent my entire life saying yes. Yes to extra work. Yes to family obligations. Yes to friends who needed favors, and no one had ever questioned it, because that's who Marcus was. Reliable, predictable, the one who didn't change. But I was tired. Tired of being the default option. Tired of always accommodating. tired of never choosing myself. The next week, I did something else different. My mother called on Sunday, like she always did. "Marcus, are you coming to dinner next week? Your aunt will be in town." Normally, I would have said yes, but I'd made plans with a friend I hadn't seen in months, plans I actually wanted to keep. "I can't this time, Mom. I've got plans." There was a pause. Plans? What kind of plans? Just plans with a friend. "Can't you reschedule?" "I don't want to." Another pause. "Well, all right. I guess we'll see you another time." Her tone was off, not angry, but disappointed, and I felt guilty, but I didn't change my mind. These were small things, tiny deviations from the script I'd been following for decades, but they were visible, and once they were visible, they couldn't be ignored. It wasn't dramatic, but it was different, and different was enough to make people uncomfortable. Chapter 3. The reactions. The reactions came quickly. At work, Lisa started asking other people for help instead of me, not in a mean way. Just, she stopped assuming I'd say yes. And honestly, that felt strange, because I'd gotten used to being needed. And when people stopped needing me the same way, I didn't know how to feel about it. With my family, it was more direct. My mother mentioned it the next time we talked. "Marcus, you've been distant lately." "I haven't been distant. I've just been busy." "Busy with what?" "Just life." "That's not like you." There it was. That phrase I'd heard variations of for weeks now. "That's not like you. You've changed. What's going on with you?" They didn't ask with curiosity. They asked with discomfort, because my change forced them to confront their expectations. My brother, Sean, was more blunt. We were having beers one night when he said, "So what's this I hear about you bailing on family stuff?" I didn't bail. I just couldn't make it. "Since when do you not make it?" "Since I had other plans." He laughed. "Other plans? Marcus, you're the guy who never has other plans. You're the guy who shows up. Maybe I'm tired of always being that guy." He looked at me, really looked at me. "What's going on with you?" "Nothing's going on. I'm just choosing differently." "Choosing? Dude, you're acting weird." "I'm acting honest." He didn't have a response to that. Even my friends noticed. My buddy Greg called me one afternoon. "Hey man, you haven't been around much lately. Everything okay?" "Yeah, everything's fine." "You sure? You seem, I don't know, different." "Different how?" "I don't know, just not yourself." "Maybe I'm just being more myself." There was a pause. "All right, man, whatever you say." No one was angry, no one was cruel, but everyone was uncomfortable, because I wasn't playing the role anymore. And they didn't know what to do with that. They didn't ask with curiosity. They asked with discomfort, because my change forced them to look at their expectations. Chapter 4. The moment of doubt. I won't pretend I was confident the whole time. There was a moment, several moments actually, when I wondered if they were right. Maybe I was being selfish. Maybe I was overreacting. Maybe I was making things harder for everyone for no good reason. It would have been easy to step back, to apologize, to return to the version of me everyone preferred. Staying the same would have been simpler. One night, I was lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, and I thought, what if I'm wrong? What if this isn't growth? What if it's just selfishness? What if I'm hurting the people I love? The guilt was heavy, because I'd spent my whole life avoiding guilt. Guilt for saying no. Guilt for disappointing people. Guilt for putting myself first. And now I was drowning in it. I called my friend David. He was the one person who'd never judged me. "David, can I ask you something?" "Of course." "Do you think I've changed?" He was quiet for a moment. "Yeah, I do." My stomach dropped. "In a bad way?" "No, in an honest way." "What do you mean?" "I mean, you used to say yes to everything, and now you don't. You used to go along with whatever, and now you make your own choices. That's not bad, Marcus. That's just real. But people are upset. People are uncomfortable. There's a difference. I sat with that. They keep saying I'm not myself. Maybe you're just finally being yourself, and they're not used to it. That conversation stayed with me, because David was right. I wasn't being selfish. I was being honest, and honesty feels like betrayal to people who benefited from your silence. Staying the same would have been simpler, but it would have cost me everything. Chapter 5. Choosing not to go back. After that conversation with David, something shifted. I realized going back wouldn't bring peace. It would only bring familiarity, and familiarity had already cost me too much. So I stayed, not stubbornly, not angrily, just honestly. I kept saying no when I needed to. I kept making choices based on what I wanted, not what others expected. I kept showing up as myself, even when that version of me made people uncomfortable. And slowly, the guilt started to fade, not completely, but enough. At work, I stopped taking on extra projects unless I genuinely wanted to. With my family, I stopped attending every event out of obligation. With my friends, I stopped being available 24/7. And something interesting happened. The sky didn't fall. People adjusted. Life went on. Some people were disappointed. Some people pulled away, but I was okay. Because for the first time in my life, I wasn't performing. I was just being. My mother eventually came around. It took a few months, but one day, she called and said, "Marcus, I've been thinking, and I realize I've been expecting you to always be a certain way, and that's not fair." "Mom, no, let me finish. You've always been the reliable one, the one I didn't have to worry about, and I think I took that for granted." "I'm sorry." I felt tears in my eyes. "Thanks, Mom. I'm proud of you for standing up for yourself." That meant more than she knew. Not everyone came around. Some friendships faded. Some relationships changed permanently, and that hurt. But it also created space. Space for new connections. Space for honesty. Space for me. So I stayed. Not stubbornly. Not angrily. Just honestly. Chapter 6. Who stayed? Who didn't? Not everyone stayed. Some relationships faded quietly. Some dynamics changed. Some expectations dissolved. My brother, Sean, and I don't talk as much as we used to. Not because we fought, but because the role I used to play in his life, the mediator, the reliable one, was gone. And without that role, we didn't have much to say to each other. That hurt. But it was also honest. Some friends drifted away too. Greg stopped inviting me to things, not out of malice, but because I'd stopped being the easy yes guy. And without that, our friendship didn't have much foundation. But something else happened too. New conversations appeared. David and I became closer because our friendship was based on honesty, not convenience. I reconnected with an old college friend, Paul, who'd reached out after years of silence. We talked about life, about change, about growth, and it felt real. At work, I built better boundaries, and my boss respected them. "Marcus, I appreciate that you're being clearer about your capacity. It actually makes my job easier." I hadn't expected that. And with my mother, our relationship deepened, because I wasn't just playing a role anymore. I was showing up as myself, and she was learning to see me, not as the reliable son, but as a whole person. The silence that followed my change started to feel different. At first, it felt like loss. But over time, it started to feel like space. Space to breathe. Space to grow. Space to be. New conversations appeared. Different connections formed. And the silence that followed my change started to feel like space instead of loss. Chapter 7. The Cost and the Gift. It's been 2 years now since I started changing, and I'm not going to tell you it's been easy. It hasn't. Choosing yourself when everyone expects you to stay the same is hard. You lose people. You disappoint people. You make people uncomfortable. But you also find something you didn't know was missing. Yourself. I look back at the person I was 2 years ago. The guy who said yes to everything. The guy who never caused problems. The guy who lived for everyone else's comfort. And I don't recognize him. Not because he was bad, but because he wasn't real. He was a collection of roles, a performance, a version of me designed to make other people comfortable. And I don't want to be that person anymore. I'm not perfect now. I'm not always confident in my choices. But I'm honest. And honesty feels like freedom. Last week, my mother said something that stuck with me. "Marcus, I'm proud of you. You're living your life on your own terms now." Thanks, Mom. It wasn't easy watching you change. But I understand now. You weren't leaving us. You were finding yourself. She was right. I didn't change to provoke anyone. I changed to stop betraying myself. Conclusion. The cost of honesty. Everyone expected me to stay the same, but staying the same would have meant leaving myself behind. I didn't change to hurt anyone. I didn't change to make a statement. I changed because I couldn't keep pretending anymore. Pretending I was fine when I wasn't. Pretending I wanted things I didn't. Pretending the role I was playing was who I really was. And if that made some people uncomfortable, it was only because the old version of me made things easier for them, not better for me. So if you're watching this, and you've ever felt trapped by who people expect you to be, if you've ever been afraid to change because of how others might react, I want you to hear this. You're allowed to change. You're allowed to outgrow roles that no longer fit. You're allowed to disappoint people who only loved the version of you that served them. It won't be easy. Some people will resist. Some will pull away. Some will never understand. But you will understand. And that's what matters. Because living for other people's expectations will keep you safe. But it will also keep you invisible. And you deserve to be seen. This is Good Stories Today, your channel for emotional and inspiring stories. If this story resonated with you, I'd love for you to subscribe. I share stories like this every week. Honest, human stories about identity, transformation, and the courage it takes to choose yourself. Thanks for listening. And remember, you don't owe anyone the old version of yourself. You only owe yourself the truth. See you in the next story.